All right, what's up, family? What's good? What is good? What's going on, people? Now, I'm going to get into this. Like right now. Then at the end of this video, once I get done with this video, or before, or whatever the case may be, please don't forget to share this video if you like it, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already, which is Mr. D's News. Alright, today and yesterday marked the 100th year of what happened down in Tulsa, Oklahoma. If you don't remember on what happened 100 years ago, you got to remember, a lot of stuff they don't tell you in school. A lot of things they don't teach our black people today in school, because a lot of the stuff wasn't even taught when I was in school, and that was in high school. That was a little over 40 years ago. And now, 100 years after a white mob burned Black Wall Street to the ground, killing and injuring an estimated hundreds of foundational black Americans and forcing thousands from their homes, President Joe Biden will visit Tulsa, Oklahoma, which is today, to commemorate one of the bloodiest race massacres in U.S. history. Biden will deliver remarks on their 100-year anniversary and speak to the survivors of the attack, which is, I think it's like 3 survivors that's still here, who are now between the ages of 101 and 107. Only 3 remain. Just like I said, the White House announced a slate of policies meant to promote racial equity ahead of the trip. That includes a new interagency effort meant to combat housing discrimination, as well as new directives that will increase federal contracting with small minority-owned businesses by $100 billion over the next 5 years. And I'm going to say something about this minority-owned, but I want you to hear the rest of this. Then I'm going to tell you why I don't support it. In a proclamation issued Monday, Biden called on Americans to commemorate the tremendous loss of life and security that occurred over those 2 days in 1921, to celebrate the bravery and resilience of those who survived and sought to rebuild their lives again, and commit together to eradicate systemic racism and help to rebuild communities and lives that have been destroyed by it. Yeah, right. Tracing a history of black perseverance and violent racist backlash, Biden will pledge to the last survivors of the massacre that the nation will never forget the event. We honor the legacy of the Greenwood community and of Black Wall Street by reaffirming our commitment to advance racial justice through the whole of our government and working to root out systemic racism from our laws, our policies, and our hearts. The statement reads, For a century, the Tulsa race massacre of May 31st, 1921 went largely ignored by sitting U.S. presidents, never prompting a trip to specifically to honor those killed in the once thriving black neighborhood of Greenwood until now. Immediately after the massacre, President Warren G. Harding said he was shocked and hoped that such a spectacle would never again be witnessed in this country, a plea that the federal government did little to ensure. Subsequent incidents of racist violence continued for decades after the wholesale killings in Tulsa. Former President Donald Trump visited Tulsa last June for his first campaign rally amid the coronavirus pandemic. He faced criticism for initially scheduling it on Juneteenth, the holiday celebrating the emancipation of enslaved people in the United States. But Trump did not reference the massacre in his remarks that made headlines, instead saying he wanted to slow down testing for the COVID-19 virus. This is very, very significant that the President of the United States is coming here. Say Scott Ellsworth, a professor at the University of Michigan and author of Death in a Promised Land, the Tulsa Race Riot of 1921, a comprehensive history of the massacre. Everyone I have spoken to in the community has supported this. A commander-in-chief acknowledging the worst single incident of racial violence in American history. According to Ellsworth, it's significant for the focus Biden's visit will put on the centennial and broader efforts to grapple with the nation's past failings on racial equity. Okay. Before I read on, I'm going to say something about that's good that the president's coming. It's just to me, it's just more pandering. It's what they all do. It's just more pandering and shit. They're not going to do any fucking thing. They're just keep that 100. They're not going to do any fucking thing like that. And every time when black people get something, this is a prime example when black people say fuck it, we just going to do it on our own, and they want to use some black man accused of assaulting a white woman, and they just use that as an excuse, which I don't think that brother did that. Because back then, we're still having it today. A white woman can say that the black guy tried to assault them or actually rape them, and it turned out not to be true, and they just want to find an excuse to do some shit to black people. That's those just facts, and nothing more, nothing less. All right. The black citizens of Tulsa were let down by their city government, by their state government, but they were also let down by the federal government in this massacre. There was never any sort of federal investigation, despite the fact that over 1,000 black homes and businesses were burnt to the ground and more than 10,000 people were made homeless. The federal government never stepped in and tried to figure out what happened. Yeah, because it's black folks. Nobody gives a shit about black Americans, foundational black Americans. They don't give a shit. But it's funny. They sure came up with that Asian hate crime bill. That's real funny. But black people been fighting for shit for over 400 fucking years, and we haven't gotten nothing. Nothing. But they do. All right. And another thing, which is I call this some more propaganda. At roughly 100 days in, 89% of black Americans approved the job that Biden has done. What has he done? What has he done for black people? So, if any Negro believes this bullshit propaganda, then you're willing to believe anything. I'm already going to hear some shit about, well, give him a chance. He's only been in 4 months. Just give him a chance. Just give him a chance. I've heard that shit for so many years. Just give him a chance. Just give him a chance. Y'all keep voting for Democrat and they don't do nothing for you. And until you to vote Republican, hell no. They ain't shit neither. Neither party is going to do anything for you. You got to remember something, black people. They didn't want us voting any fucking way. So why participate in a racist racist system that doesn't give a shit about your vote? They pretty much are telling you, hey, yeah, we'll let you vote, but we're not going to give you anything. We're not going to do shit for you, and they're pretty much proving it. That is something to think about. Really something to think about. Because they're not going to do anything for you, and they're talking about getting stuff done for minorities. Of what I was reading in this article here, believe me, there is still not written specifically for foundational black Americans, not African Americans, because you got a lot of Africans that's here, and they'll say that they're African American. And that's why I'm kind of pissed off with Jesse Jackson coming with that African American bullshit, because you get nothing. And y'all got to read on what these things are saying. We're going to get something done for minorities or for people of color, POCs if you want to call it that. But you got to remember something. That doesn't include us. We're not included. We need something specifically in writing that for foundational black Americans or for American descendants of slavery. It has to be ADOS or FBA. Not people of color, not minorities. That could mean any group of fucking people. That could be any group of people. So we got to start reading this stuff. We got to pick it up. We got to wake up. You know, just like you got the Black Lives Matter movement, and what's her name? One of the founders, Patrice Cullors. You notice she made her money off getting paid off the lives of black men and women that were killed by the police. And you notice she's gotten her money. She's gotten her money, and she got the fuck out of Dodge. And which I've been trying to tell people for the longest, that the Black Lives Matter ain't shit. They've never been shit, and they never will be anything. That's why I never supported that fucking shit, and I ain't gonna support it. And whoever don't like it, fuck you. I don't give a fuck. I'm not supporting some shit that just making money off the lives of our black brothers and sisters that are getting killed by the police. And another thing I can't stand is on Facebook, you got black folks sending me stuff to donate for Asian hate. Are you serious? Are you Negroes fucking serious? I ain't donating shit to those motherfucking Asian. Do I hate Asians? No, I don't hate them. But I just don't like how some of them treat black people. But y'all want to get out here. Y'all want to cake for these people, and they ain't caking for you in return. If they ain't showing me no motherfucker love, why should I support them? They ain't showing me none. They not supporting me. They treat me like shit, and treats a lot of y'all like shit when you go into some of their stores. So you gotta think about what's being done for you. And another thing, a lot of things that I don't agree with. And why is Kamala Harris going after these young rappers, these young folks that don't really know the fucking system? And you know, if they are trying to get these younger people to vote for motherfuckers that don't mean shit to them, but we gonna get into that later. I'm gonna finish reading this. And on what caused the Tulsa race massacre, and I'm going to get into that right now. The Tulsa race massacre took place on May 31st through June 1st of 1921, when mobs of white residents, many of them deputized and were given weapons by city officials, and they were on a rampage attacking black residents and burned businesses of the Greenwood district in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Alternatively known as the Black Wall Street Massacre or the Tulsa Race Riot. We'll pick either one, because they fucked up a lot of black folks. Okay, it marks one of the single worst incidents of racial violence in American history. The attack, carried out on the ground and from private aircraft, destroyed more than 35 square blocks of the district. At that time, the wealthiest black community in the United States, known as Black Wall Street. Okay. The deaths. Total dead and displaced unknown. 36 total. 26 black and 10 whites died in that riot. Okay. More than 800 people were admitted to hospitals. As many as 6,000 black residents were interned in large facilities, many of them for several days. The Oklahoma Bureau of Vital Stats officially recorded 36 dead. Okay. All right. A state commission examination of events was able to confirm 39 dead, 26 black, and 13 white, based on contemporary autopsy reports. And death certificates and other records. The commission gave Several estimates ranging from 75 to 300 dead. The massacre began during the Memorial Day weekend after 19-year-old Dick Rowland, a black shoe shiner, was accused of assaulting a white woman, Sarah Page. The 17-year-old white elevator operator of the nearby Drexel building. He was taken to custody. After the arrest, rumors spread through the city that Rowland was to be lynched. Upon hearings that a mob of hundreds of white men had gathered around the jail where Rowland was being kept, a group of 75 black men, some of whom were armed, arrived at the jail in order to ensure that Rowland would not be lynched. The sheriff persuaded the group to leave the jail, assuring them that he had the situation under control. The shot was fired, and then, according to the reports of the sheriff, all hell broke loose. At the end of the firefight, 12 people were killed, 10 white and 2 black. As news of these deaths spread throughout the city, mob violence exploded. White rioters rampaged through the black neighborhood that night and the next morning, killing men and burning and looting stores and homes. Around noon on June 1st, the Oklahoma National Guard imposed martial law, effectively ending the massacre. About 10,000 black people were left homeless, and property damage amounted to more than $1.5 million in real estate and $750,000 in personal property, equivalent to $32.65 million in 2020. Many survivors left Tulsa, while black and white residents who stayed in the city kept silent about the terror, violence, and resulting losses for decades. The massacre was largely omitted from local, state, and national histories. In 1996, 75 years after the massacre, a bipartisan group in the state legislature authorized the formation of the Oklahoma Commission to study the Tulsa race riot of 1921. The commission's final report, published in 2001, states that the city had conspired with the mob of white citizens against black citizens. It recommended a program of reparations to survivors and their descendants. The state passed legislation in order to establish scholarships for the descendants of survivors, encourage the economic development of Greenwood, and develop a park in memory of the victims of the massacre in Tulsa. The park was dedicated in 2010, and in 2020 the massacre became a part of the Oklahoma school curriculum. All right. But like I said earlier, a lot of this stuff they're talking about, Biden is talking about, it's not even it does nothing for black Americans, not for foundational black Americans. They keep talking about minorities, people of color. That can mean any group of people. It's nothing written in stone there for foundational black Americans. And back to Kamala Harris, what I don't understand is, I do understand, because she doesn't want somebody that knows the system, that knows black economics. And why won't she? Why haven't they talked to Ice Cube yet? But with Ice Cube, he needs to bring somebody to the table with him. And I noticed Biden and Harris, they're avoiding people, especially Dr. Claude Anderson. They don't want him. They don't want him to talk, because they know he's going to bring it to them on black economics. He knows. They know. So that's why they won't bring him. And y'all just, my thing is, y'all voted for the wrong person, to run this country. You voted for somebody that has a history with dogging black people. Y'all know this, but I hear a lot of you say, well, I only voted because we got to get Donald Trump out of office. We got to get him out of office. I don't believe in the lesser of the two evil shit. Evil is evil, period. Or I can't stand when black people say, well, we got to vote for the one that has the less venom. That's not gonna do too much bad shit to black people. But by y'all voting in Joe Biden, y'all already know what he's about, and y'all voted him in anyway. And that, I think that was just total ignorance on your part. I didn't vote for neither one. I didn't vote for either one because, like I said, you keep saying, well, you're a fool if you don't vote. You're a fool if you do vote, because they didn't want you voting anyway. They didn't. And like I said, Kamala Harris, she's going after people. She's going after these young people. You already know she's full of shit. Especially she said when she was in college, she used to listen to Tupac and Snoop Dogg. We all know that's some bullshit, and y'all still fell for it. Which is you Negroes, y'all love symbolism more than you love economics. And this certain rapper, I'm not gonna name his name, but if he ever hears his video, he pretty much know I'm talking about him. He was one of the main ones telling people, well, we need to vote for the one that has the less venom, the one that's gonna do the less damage to black people. But we just got to get Donald Trump out of there. And now he's all pissed off because a lot of black people, are waking up, and they told us, well, man, we told you so. We told you this was going to happen. We voted for Joe Biden. We just should have stayed out and don't vote for Biden nor for Trump. I didn't vote for neither one. Because me personally, I really don't vote. I think how I learned my lesson is when I voted for the first time, I voted for Barack Obama, and I see how he screwed blacks over, because in his first 2 years, in his first term, the House and Senate was Democrat controlled. That should have been a time for him to do something for black people then, but he chose not to do anything. And these are the results. By him not doing anything for the black community, that set us back even more. And I get a lot of flack from a lot of these still sleeping Negroes gonna tell me I don't know what I'm talking about, because Barack Obama did a lot for black people. Then when I ask him, well, what did he do? Name one thing that he's done for black people. Then I'll apologize, and then I will stop saying what I'm saying. They couldn't prove it. Then all of a sudden I'm getting called my fucking name. I'm being called a coon. And you know what? When it comes to Democrats and Republicans, you have a lot of coons on both sides, because neither side is doing nothing for you. But I'm the one that's the coon because I refuse to vote. And a lot of you Negroes, you Negroes only love two things. You love a white Jesus, and you love Democrats, and that's going to be your downfall. And some of you even take and believe some of the things with this religion. Y'all take it and believe what the white daddy has told you. Those are just facts. But anyway, this certain rapper, like I said, he got pissed off because a lot of black folks checked him on his YouTube channel, and he was like, well, if you don't like, what the fuck, don't come on my YouTube page with this fucking shit about we told you so, but we told you so. If you don't like what's being said, you can get the fuck off my YouTube channel. He was saying all kinds of shit, and practice what you preach, my man. Practice what you preach, because not just you and a lot of entertainers that really don't know what the fuck is going on. You think that you do, but you really don't. You and a lot of these entertainers and some of these Negro politicians, some of these coons from the Congressional Congress, they pretty much not doing nothing for you. All these years that the Congressional Black Caucus has been in office, what have they done? They did for other groups of people, but nothing for you. So with the Congressional Congress and a lot of these black entertainers, they lead you all to piles of horse shit. That's all they're leading you to. They lead you to piles of horse shit. So don't get mad when somebody trying to warn you and somebody told you what was going to happen with Joe Biden, and it's already going down. And another thing I don't agree with, if I haven't said it already, I was reading this article. It's saying that 89% of black folks agreed with what Biden's doing, and I think I did say that, but I'm gonna say it again. If y'all believe this bullshit, and if you are loving what Joe Biden is doing, y'all really are seriously still asleep. It's ridiculous. It truly is. It's truly ridiculous. But I'm not buying into none of it. You know, I'm black first, and until they come up with somebody that's gonna give black folks their due, I'm not voting. I'm staying out of it. I don't give a fuck who gets mad. Well, you know, a non-vote is a vote. A vote is a vote for the Republicans. You know what, motherfucker? When did I tell you I was a Republican? When did I tell you that I was a Democrat? I'm neither. I'm black first. I'm not going to give my vote to vote for some racist piece of shit that ain't going to do nothing for you. And like I said again, they didn't want us voting any fucking way. And it's like, yeah, we'll take your vote, nigga, but we're still not going to do anything for you. Now, if you like that kind of abuse, then you go right ahead. Go right the fuck ahead. Be my fucking guest, because I'm not voting for none of them. I'm black first. And going to stay black first. Plain and simple. Plain and fucking simple. Alright. If you like this video, please don't forget to share this video. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. And also too, a lot of times YouTube doesn't let my videos go through, but you can always go on ugetube.com, ugetube.com, and you probably would see my videos on there. So just go check on there, because a lot of times YouTube doesn't let my videos come through. Why, I don't know. When it comes to the political stuff, YouTube, I get little to no views. And but when I show videos of black folks going off and, you know, and doing some crazy shit, they'll let those go through with no problem. You know, I guess it's too many political stuff that's coming out now, and they can't handle it. And a lot of those people, they're paying to get their views. Even when I tried to pay to get my views across when it comes to this political stuff, that, well, you got to have a business. And when did that change that I got to have a business in order to pay to get my views? So I can't even pay to get my views, and I get more views on YouTube than on YouTube. And a lot of people don't even know about YouTube. So, but if you like my stuff on there, you'll probably see it come through there. And if you like it, you can, because I do have a YouTube channel, still the same like YouTube, Mr. D's News. Just go on there and subscribe from there. Anyway, I'm out. I'm going to close this video, and I'll see y'all again real soon. Y'all take care.